the glam cam for a mighty blaze. I'm debut spotlight interviewer Nancy Johnson. I'm the author of the debut novel, The Kindest Lie. But today I am excited to be here with Becky Mandelbaum, who is the author of the debut novel that just released, The Bright Side Sanctuary for Animals. Becky, welcome and tell us all about your book.
Thank you, Nancy. The Bright Side Sanctuary for Animals is a mother-daughter story, and it takes place on an animal sanctuary in western Kansas shortly after the 2016 election. So lots of animals, and there's a lot about unconditional love and forgiveness.
Great. Now I understand that you spent some time actually in an animal sanctuary, which sounds really cool, and it's interesting for me because I have a fear of animals, which I hadn't told you yet. So this virtual background is probably about as close as I get to many animals. But that sounds like a really neat experience. What was that like?
Yeah, so when I was an undergraduate at the University of Kansas, I went on a few service learning trips to animal sanctuaries. And this book was inspired by a trip I took to an animal sanctuary. And I was so captivated by the woman who ran the sanctuary because she was essentially working alone. She had a lot of volunteers and people like us coming on service learning trips, but she only had one full-time employee and hundreds of animals. I think she had like 300 feral hogs, hundreds of dogs, cats, goats, sheep, ducks, just everything. And she had dedicated everything to this sanctuary, and you could just tell that she was in over her head, but trying so hard to do a good thing.
I know you were interested in exploring the complicated bonds between animals and people, and you're also wanting to look into how we often hurt those that we love the most. Tell me about that.
Yeah, so there's a few instances in the book of characters trying to help one another, and while their intentions are good, the outcome, it's misguided. And so one instance is the daughter, Ariel. She wants to help her mom because she learns that her mom's barn has been the target of an anti-Semitic hate crime. So she returns home thinking that she's going to help her mom, but she's actually hurt her mom. And so her returning home does more damage initially than it actually helps. So there's a few instances of that, of characters, wanting to do something kind, but it's more for their own personal benefit than it is for actually wanting to help the other person. And there's some of that with the mom, Mona, too, and her intention for helping the animals. And she wants to care for all these animals, but she just doesn't have the capacity or the bandwidth, and so it ends up not being the best situation for all the animals. So the book explores the line between helping and hurting and how we navigate that, and whether it's intention or action that actually matters in the end.
This is an intriguing book with some very universal themes. I wish you all the best with it, Becky, and congratulations on the release of your novel.
Thank you so much, Nancy. I appreciate you having me.